Welcome to the Nerdist Podcast number 571. Let's get right into it. We're doing it. This episode is brought to you by Stamps.com, which is begging you to not go to the post office anymore. I mean, I know that it benefits their business if you don't go to the post office and use Stamps.com, but it's saving you a lot of mental anguish, and I hate myself energy, and I hate the world energy by waiting in line at the post office. Some guy in front of you is going to have like 50 packages he's mailing for a bunch of other people because they don't want to go to the post office either. And it's going to be all irregular mail. You've probably left some food or a water in the car. And as the sun cooks it, all the plastic's going to melt into your food. And then you're going to throw it away because that's not healthy for you. All that could have been avoided. You could have just eaten at home and printed everything out from your desktop for Stamps.com. Print out the exact postage that you need, and the mail carrier is going to just pick it up from your house, and that's it. We have our continuing promotion with Stamps.com. It's a $110 bonus offer, including $55 of free postage and a digital scale when you use the promo code Nerdist. So don't wait before you do anything else. Go to Stamps.com, go to the top of the homepage, click the microphone, enter the promo code Nerdist, and thanks to Stamps.com for continuing to support not only mailing things to people, but also the Nerdist Podcast, which this episode is Ed Helms returning after 2 years. I cannot believe it's been that long. Ed is, well, besides being an incredibly talented actor and comedy person, is also a bluegrass aficionado and an excellent banjo player. And he is promoting the Bluegrass Situation in L.A., which is a bluegrass music festival, October 10th and 11th at the Ace Hotel in Los Angeles. Tickets can be found at thebluegrasssituation.com. I think if you accidentally type in Bluegrass Situation and you omit the, it will take you to thebluegrasssituation.com. They got both. They got a URL redirect, which was very smart on their part. But this Bluegrass Situation Music Festival is great. I've been to it. I performed in it, and it's super fun. So October 10th and 11th. Right now, here's Ed Helms, and there's podcast number 571.
Now entering Nerdist.com.
Ed Helms, it's been, I think, maybe like 2 years since you were on the podcast the last time.
I think you're right, yeah.
What if I was just really behind him? Like, so how's the office going? Still good?
Yes. And Chris, how is...
Singled out? Great.
Singled out.
It's going really well. We're in our 21st season.
You're engaged to Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, she just married Donnie Wahlberg, but I was like, whatever. It's really funny. I was just in Chicago. I was performing in Chicago the day that she got married, and people were like, "Are you going to the wedding?" I think.
When's the last time? What was your relationship with her like on the show?
We were friends. We were very. She was always.
Did you have a huge crush on her?
I did not have a huge crush on her. Actually,
why?
Because when I first met Jenny. I never went after the type of girl that I was always interested in was not
thinks vaccinations are good.
Yeah, that's right. So I dated a lot of veterinarians. The Playmate was not my type of girl. And so when I first met Jenny, when they first cast her on the show, they actually had to de-Playmate her because she had like acid wash jeans and like giant hair
I got you, yeah.
and lots of makeup. And they actually kind of like slicked her up a bit, like made her cooler. Like they just
they MTV'd her.
Yeah, they MTV'd her. They de-Playmated her. But the Playmate image was always and it was just never, and people never believed that when I was like. And they were like, "Oh, something must happen." I was like, we were never attracted to each other in that way. And they're like, "Come on." I'm like, it's possible that she's just not my type of girl. And they're like, "Oh, what are you, gay?" I'm like, yeah, because being gay is about not fucking girls that you find attractive. That's really what that is.
Yeah.
She was just never, we just never had that kind of chemistry. It was very brother sister, but not.
Sure.
Not
incestuous.
Yeah.
Brother, sister.
But not touchy pokey.
All right. A lot of denial. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if. No, what I'm saying is, no, you're the one.
I clearly touched a nerd.
No, but it was a question that.
Well, can I say at that time when I was watching MTV, very attracted to Jenny McCarthy. Yes, and singled out, and you
You were
of
attracted
course.
to me as well, and the show.
Sure, it's a great show.
But I was dating. My girlfriend at the time was her name was Jacinda. She was on The Real World, London,
Okay,
and so that was Jacinda was more of my type of girl, like tall girl.
sure.
I don't know. So I was in a relationship the whole time.
Cool.
as well. Never had sex with anyone from that show. Not one person.
It was like I'm trying to remember the premise. It was like sort of a cattle call dating game.
That's
right?
exactly what it was. Yeah, it was a cattle call. It was basically an elimination, like a mass elimination show.
Right.
Where I think their sell for it was, because in real life, we eliminate people based on like boob size and package size, and like the fact there was a category, like there was a dick category where it would like package size, and then a bunch of people get eliminated. And by the way,
how would they have?
no one ever eliminated big packages. By the way, it was always the smallest packages were.
But presumably you couldn't. You didn't see people's packages.
Yes, we had a very thorough. Everyone had to see a physician.
Everyone had to have a full package analysis.
There was a measurement.
Okay.
It was sort of like, how like when you're growing up and your mom just like puts the little marks all the way up the door jamb?
Sure.
All the contestants had to lay down on their backs.
Got it.
And then up against the door jamb,
Sure.
there was your dick must be this tall to ride this ride.
Right.
Yeah. So that's exactly how that's literally how the show worked. I don't know if that was okay or legal, but I can 100% say that's exactly what happened.
That's the charm. That's the charm.
That's right. But that show, it's funny that people people go, hey, singled out. I'm like, I can't believe you. It was like 20 years ago.
It was at that time, I think MTV was such a kind of culture definer for people, especially like in our what are we, Generation
We're
X?
Gen Xers, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was huge. MTV was just in that time of like, oh, they don't just play music videos. They have other cool stuff. And now we're in a place where it's like, why don't they play any music videos? All they have is lame stuff.
Well, also, we are not in the demographic anymore.
Well, I'm hip.
Yes, I'm aware. I am also a hip person. But I think we are not.
I am deeply offended that you think MTV is not aimed at me.
It's aimed at actors ages 36 to 44 who enjoy bluegrass music.
It is so funny. You're right. Like, we just project our lack of understanding. Like, it's so funny how easy it is to not understand something and then not understand why you don't understand it. Like,
well, people who are our age now, I'm sure, were like singled out as the decline of modern civilization, and it's a piece of shit. And but 15-year-old, like if you were like 12 to 22 when that show was on, you were,
you were psyched and you wanted that and a heavy dose of Ken Ober and remote control.
Yeah. Oh, remote control was late.
Not
80s.
Ken Ober. Sorry, he was news.
No.
He was a VJ.
No, Ken hosted remote control. You were right.
Okay, I was right about
in the late 80s.
That was before.
It was way before. That was like 88.
And that was Colin Quinn.
That was Colin and Adam Sandler and Kari were.
See my references? How dare you say I'm not hip?
Yes. No, Kurt Loder was MTV News.
Yes, of course.
Kurt Loder and John Norris and Tabitha Soren were all MTV News.
Big crush on Tabitha Soren.
Yes.
And then she kind of went legit. Like, she did a bunch of real news, documentary kind of stuff, I think, for a while.
I don't know what she's doing now. I don't know what Tabitha's doing now.
Kennedy.
Kennedy's still around.
And who was the guy with that had the hair, like the big hair, the hair metal looking rocker?
Which
video
guy,
jockey?
Ricky Rackman or
He looked like a glam rock guy. He was really he had like a lion mane of hair.
You're talking about John Sensio.
Am I?
John Sensio had a lion mane of like blonde hair.
Okay.
But maybe there were some others. It was such an interesting time because now like Vivo is basically where people watch or anywhere else online.
Right.
MTV was revolutionary because they had stuff that you couldn't really see anywhere else. Now.
Yeah.
Well, now you can see all that shit everywhere.
Right.
And people don't even have the attention spans to watch music videos anyway.
Yeah, and at the time also, like, music videos was where directors were doing incredibly out there, unusual, avant-garde
like
things.
Tarsim and Mark Romanek and like
Chris Cunningham and Spike Jonze and
Yeah.
all these guys were like doing exceptionally cool stuff, which is now the same stuff that networks use for their bumpers.